All right, today we're going to go over what the #1 list is for wholesaling real estate and acquiring real estate deals, okay? First off, my name is Nick Massini. This is Nick Wholesales Houses. I wholesale and I flip houses from my home. I escaped the matrix and I had this YouTube channel to teach y'all how to do the exact same thing. All right, let's get into it, babe. So, the #1 list of all time is the high equity list. People don't talk about it. Why? I'm not really sure, but without a doubt, the best list that you could ever get is the high equity list. And the major reason that I say this is that in order for you to get a good deal, that deal by default needs to be on the high equity list. If the seller does not have high equity, you won't be able to get a big spread. Plain and simple. So regardless of whatever type of niche list that you get, whether it be an absentee owner list, a tax default list, a code violation list, whatever you're getting, okay, if it's a good deal, it also is on the high equity list, okay? So you could do a lot of work and do this list stacking and get a small, very niche list. Yes, you can do that. God bless you. And some people may say, like, oh, you get the arrest records, you do this, you do that, you do 2 double black flips and pray to the sun and cross all these lists together, and everybody that you talk is going to be super motivated, this and that, and boo ba 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 boo ba ba. You could do all that, right? And God bless you, okay? You can go balls to the walls that way. You really, really can. That's not my style. I don't want to spend 1,000,000 years dealing with all that. It's just not really worth it to me. You know what is super, super easy? Biting the bullet. Just getting the one list that every good deal is on, the high equity list, and being done with it, okay? Now keep in mind, this is a very, very wide net. So while it's the best list, you also will get the most amount of no's on this list, okay? Because it's a lot of people. It's literally every single person that has high equity. But if you are really marketing to the masses, if you're sending out a lot of text messages, if you are sending out or doing a lot of cold calls, I'll tell you what, it's a lot easier just to say screw it and get a high equity list and have your people run all the way through it. It cuts down your workload tremendously. And again, every good deal that you will ever get is also on this list. So let's just get right to the chase and market towards it, okay? It's not the end of the world. And another good thing about this list is you won't just get wholesale deals. There will be people in this list that also maybe they want to list their house or whatever they want to do with it. You can take that or take those leads. And if you don't have your license, who cares? You can use those as currency, give those leads to other realtors for social equity and to build relationships with. Maybe there's people that will give you a nice little finder's fee if they get some listings out of it. Maybe you have people that you do marketing shares with. I have a couple different realtors that I have marketing shares with. So whenever they beater lead goes into their funnel, they give it to me because they're doing paid marketing. I'm doing paid marketing. Whenever somebody who wants to list their house comes into my funnel, I give it to them. It's very, very great currency. So you can get a lot out of these lists, but at the end of the day, what we're focused on is big, juicy spreads. And our wholesale deals are big, juicy spreads for our flips, and this is where you are going to get them. If somebody does not have high equity, you cannot get a banging deal from them, my boy. Don't talk to me about no creative finance stuff. You're not Pace Morby, you're not Mike Scarpa. Don't want to hear it. We're talking about real wholesale deals, traditional cash bangers, okay? You want to do some bangers, they're on this list. It's the best one to go for, okay? Any lead provider, this is the beauty, any lead provider, you'll be able to get this list. They will all have a filter that says high equity. All you got to do is click that button, my boy. If you want, double check, because every provider will have a different definition of what is high equity. Some will say that 30% equity is high. Some will say 40% equity is high. Some will say 50% equity is high. I like to do 40%. I want to make sure that seller has at least 40% equity, because if you're doing that, it's just enough where you'll be able to make a banging fee and they will have enough in their pocket to walk away clean and be a happy boy. So, I'll tell you what, if you get that, man, you got a lot of opportunity. And I did not realize it was such a good list because not that many people talk about it. When I realized that it was such a good list is when I upped my marketing and I couldn't think of another way. I was sending 50,000 texts out a month. And like I said, that's a lot of the data to get. And if you're doing niche lists, man, what are you going to do? You're not going to be able to find that many records month after month after month. But I realized, oh, wait a minute. I'll just start pulling these high equity lists. I heard about it from Rick Ginn. He said it one time and it kind of blew my brain up. Like, bro, why am I spending all this time and energy trying to get all these special lists and thinking so much, bro? I'll just go county by county in my area, high equity, and then it takes a lot of my work out. Because when it comes to marketing, a lot of it is figuring out which list, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And it can get complicated and you can spend way too much time on that. Forget it. Don't even bother, brother. If you're going to spend this money, spend it. Just get the high equity list and let that sucker fly. You'll be surprised what you get in. I really, really mean it. So again, not the longest video in the world, but if you want to just cut right to the chase and get the best list with a highest chance of getting big juicy deals, just download the high equity list, let it fly. I do mine from batch leads, but then I click high equity, I turn it from 30% to 40% and I let it rock. You can do kind skip tracing. It's even cheaper. Kind skip tracing, I think, is 3 cents a record, brother. That's wild. You can do the prop wire. It doesn't matter. This list is available everywhere. That's the beauty. A lot of the really good lists that they talk about, all these, the government lists, this and that, all these special things, you got to go to the county for. You got to slit your wrist, draw blood, and do a spit shake at the same time to get these lists. It's a waste of time. If you're going to put in that much groundwork, brother, just download a high equity list and then cut yourself all that trouble. It's not really worth any of the time. Get a high equity list, send out those texts, get those cold calls calling, and it's a wrap, my boy. So happy hunting. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Happy hunting.